Hi folks, my name is Billy Carter and I'm with Carter's Country here on the north side of Houston, where today we're going to be sitting out here on the Trap and Skeet ranges and kind of go over a few basic fundamentals about how our ranges are set up and how they are run. When you get here, you'll simply park it by the front check-in counter up there, and you'll go inside and you'll tell the cashiers how many rounds of Trap or Skeet you want to shoot. There's 25 shots in each round, and each ticket that you buy will entitle you to 25 shots. You will also need to have one box of ammunition, which we have if you need for sale, and some kind of eye and ear protection to go along with that. Once you get your tickets, you'll simply come down to the actual skeet ranges. You can either walk or drive, whichever's more convenient for you, and then you will approach the actual Trap and Skeet RSO officers when they get done with the current round they're pulling. And at that point in time, you'll approach them, give them your tickets, and then we'll get you signed up on the next available squad. Think safety always. Remember that anytime the guns come out of the car, like overrunners, we want them like this, where they're open and safe, ready to be seen. Autos and pumps, we want the actions back and open. Never load more than one round time on any fields unless you're shooting doubles on skeet range. Basically what trap is, just kind of a overview here. You have a single house in the middle of the field out here. You have a trap machine inside there that is actually oscillating back and forth, left and right. So whenever you call pull for the target, you will not know where the actual target is coming from as far as for which side of the house is going to come out of. They will all basically go away from you, so it's a fairly easy game to learn once you get some of the basics in line and so forth and so on. Okay, on the trap range here, basically you have 5 shooting positions. You will have up to 5 people shooting at one time. It is all shot in rotation. Shooter on number 1 will shoot 1 round, then the shooter on number 2 will load his shotgun and shoot a round, and then the shooter on 3 will do back and forth until everybody shoots 5 rounds apiece. At that point in time, the range safety officer will tell them to change stations. Everybody will rotate one station to the right. If there's 5 shooters, the guy on 5 will rotate down to 1. Okay, not necessarily the best stance in the world, but I'll show you what a lot of the general trap and skeet shooters try to use as far as a correct shooting stance. Typically speaking, you're going to have, if you're your right-hand shooter, you're going to have your left foot in front of your actual right foot. You're going to kind of square off to the actual house itself, and then you're going to kind of bend the front left knee a little bit to get inside. And then you're also going to be sure that when you mount the gun, you lean into the gun. That way you're not leaning back like this. Is not a good stance because you're uncomfortable at that point in time. You're off balance. So try to always lean into the gun like that. Okay, we're going to talk a little bit about actually swinging and not swinging your gun while you're shooting trap today. Trap and skeet both are kind of an actual, golf and tennis kind of game. Your follow through is everything. If you're tracking a target and you stop your swing to pull the trigger, you're going to more than likely miss it unless you're a very lucky person. So that being said, basically what happens is you're going to mount the gun correctly. You're going to look down the top of the gun. You're going to have a flat area where you're going to see the bead on top of the gun, and you will just follow the target out of the house with the bead and swing through it and pull the trigger. Okay folks, we're going to talk a little bit about where you should actually start your swing from whenever you're getting ready to call for your target on the trap range. Typically speaking, what you want to do, get mounted on the gun. You want to pull the gun in and get mounted correctly, and you pull the gun down below the front of the trap house to where you will have a complete clear view of where the target comes out of it. Whether it comes out left or right or center, you will be able to follow it, track it, and lead it and shoot it. The range officers here are here for your safety, number 1, and they're also here to pull for you, number 2. Whenever you call pull is whenever he takes the actual pull cord, pushes the button, and the clay target will come out of the house. Pull! We're going to give you a quick overview of the skeet range. Skeet's a little bit different than trap. Basically, you have like a half circle here with 8 stations around it. You have a house on the left side, which is called your high house. You have a house on the right side over here that's called your low house. And that's there's just a difference in the way the actual targets are presented when they come out of the house. The high house target comes basically straight across the field, which we'll show you in a little while, and the low house is coming up and out of the actual house itself. Same thing as with the actual trap ranges. Whenever you get here, you'll approach the range safety officer when he gets done with the round that he's shooting on, and tell him how many rounds you want to shoot, and you'll give him the tickets you purchased up front. And then he at that point will tell you when your turn is going to be coming up. This, unlike trap, is more of a golf type game to where it's just one person at a time shooting on a station. Every time that's your turn to get up to the station, you're going to shoot 2 single shots. One single shot out of the high house, one single shot out of the low house. Okay? Then there's on stations 1, 2, 6, and 7, the first 2 and last 2 actual stations on the actual half circle course here, you will have what they call a double, which when you call pull for the target, it will be one target at each house simultaneously. You will always typically want to shoot the one closest to you first. So on stations 1 and 2, you will want to shoot the high house target first. And in stations 6 and 7, you want to shoot the low house target first. Okay folks, we're just going to kind of shoot a few targets right now. Unfortunately, we don't have enough time to go into all the actual different lead scenarios and so forth for all the different stations and all the different target presentations. We'll save that for another video in the near future. But anyway, we'll see if we can't just show you some targets flying and kind of get the basic concept of where they come out at and where they go to and where you should try to shoot them at. Pull! Pull! Okay folks, we hope you enjoyed the actual video that we presented you today. We want to be sure to let you know that we have a lot of different experience levels come out here to shoot on our facility. You know, some from very new beginners to experienced shooters. The main point is we really just want y'all to come out and have fun. No matter what experience level you are, we will try to help you out as much as we possibly can. Just remember, if you've ever shot, shopped, or hunted with us, you're part of the Cartridge Country family. And until next time, adios.